Welcome Trinidad and Tobago to a News 4 report, a product of the Government Information Services Limited and the Ministry of Communications. I'm Larry Lumsden. Let's take a look at the headlines. After Carnival, the Education Minister tells parents to send their children to school. The Transport Minister says his ministry is responding to the needs of the people, and the results are in for Carnival 2013. We begin with word from the Education Minister that while the Carnival season is now over, parents must send their children to school. Education Minister Dr. Tim Gopisinghe made a plea following his overview of Ash Wednesday student turnout at the nation's schools.
Low student turnout at the nation's schools following the Carnival period continues to be something Education Minister Dr. Tim Gopisinghe is seeking to improve. Statistics over the past 3 years show a three-quarter decline in attendance on Ash Wednesday. The minister is appealing to parents to take a more responsible role in valuing their children's education and time required to be spent in the classroom.
I think parents should understand that a day in the life of a student at school is a very important day. And also for the teachers of course have been coming out. We need to have a better turnout from the teachers. And so parents should understand and take the responsibility of ensuring that their children are at school. My understanding is that some parents take their children to the beaches and so on. If you go on the beaches today, you'd see a number of students on the beaches, as I have been advised.
Minister Dr. Gopisinghe says this raises the question of whether schools should be closed during Carnival week. He notes consultations with stakeholders will take place to see how this can be facilitated. However, it might mean the removal of a week from the July-August vacation period.
If we pull a week off from the summer vacation and start school opening almost to the end of August instead of early September, and we give this week off for the students, is something that will have to be discussed at a national level. In that way as well, we'll have the celebration of the independence by our students, so who will be able to understand and appreciate the meaning of true independence of a country.
And with SCA around the corner, Minister Gopisinghe adds that the ministry is seeking to introduce an increase in contact hours between students and teachers.
I am afraid sometimes the curriculum is not covered by many of the schools and many of the teachers, and the students sometimes are shortchanged. And we are looking at within the next week to see how we can improve the contact time between teachers and students, whether we consider giving the students who are writing the SEA and CSEC examinations some extra push in hours with their teachers. This is being discussed at the ministry at the moment for implementation, plans and programs for implementation to ensure better performance in the examinations to come in May and June.
In order to facilitate this, training of teaching staff charged with SEA classes will continue as the ministry looks at improving the system. Kimberly Ramkalawan, News 4.
Inroads continue to be made at the Transport Ministry as it seeks to provide and make its public services more accessible and convenient to the public. Transport Minister Chandresh Sharma says his ministry is responding to the needs of the people while at the same time striking a balance in sustaining its services.
Taking public transport to every community across Trinidad and Tobago remains paramount to the Transport Ministry, and ensuring this happens is Transport Minister Chandresh Sharma, who says provision of transport services falls into government's wider picture of decentralization of public services.
The government of Trinidad and Tobago has approached a number of things. One is that we have decentralized a number of services. So previously, people from all over the country will come into the police when they get a simple thing like a birth certificate. We'll have to go to the license office to get a certified copy. That no longer obtains. They can get that in the rural communities. In addition to that, today they can go online and do a number of services that was not available previously, so that the requirement to be on the roads is minimized to some extent. Public transport has come a long way. Today, there's a public service transport bus service in almost every community in this country. Very interestingly, there are 134 electoral districts, if you can think of the 14 regional corporations. So we have 134 elected local government practitioners. In every one of those communities, there's a bus. In every constituency, there's a bus. And we look to see where people are coming.
While transport services provided such as the water taxi and buses are heavily subsidized, Minister Sharma says partnering with the private sector has already commenced and they are looking to expand this initiative.
We have indicated that the water taxi is being subsidized by close to $50 million per year. The big question is, can the state continue? Can the taxpayer continue? That's always a challenge, because can this $50 million be better spent? And that is something we're always exploring, so that a number of things will happen. We don't want to do away with the water taxi, but we want to make sure that we get value, money for value for money. We keep exploring that. Certainly there would be the opportunity for private sector to get involved as well, and they already do. The maxi taxi, we work closely with the associations. There are approximately 5,000 maxi taxi in this country, and they do a very, very good service. They're managed by 5 maxi taxi associations with a national body. So we meet with them frequently.
Going green continues to be on top of the agenda, as the minister notes pushing this environmental friendly consciousness across all sectors has already made inroads in public and private spheres.
The whole world wants to go green, so there's a global shortage of kits and cylinders to do the kind of work we'll want to do. But we are already in the process of continuing that exercise. The maxi taxi associations have spoken with us, and we're exploring to assist them, because in providing the kits, if that is what the government may agree to, it would save and earn on 2 or 3 ways. One is that the fuel subsidies would be reduced significantly. The going green policy will be maintained, and the exhaust fumes, if you can call it that, from the CNG operated vehicles is a lot more friendlier.
Meanwhile, Minister Sharma says training of skilled persons is key to supporting these industries and remains a priority. He notes that his ministry, in working with collaboration with the Tertiary Education and Skills Training Ministry, provides trainees with the skills needed for the repair and maintenance of vehicles on the road through programs at VIMCUT and NESC. Kimberly Ramkalawan, News 4.
After the break, we tell you who are some of the champs of Carnival 2013. Stay with us. Welcome back. 2 Carnival legends dominate the headlines today with their great performances for Carnival 2013. And while one marks his return to Carnival with a victory, the other's victory marked his departure.
It seems masqueraders preferred to bounce rather than float on the road for Carnival 2013. This as Austin Lyons, aka Super Blue, has been revealed as the 2013 Road March champion. Super Blue's song Fantastic Friday was by far the most played song at the judging points, having been played 511 times. His closest competitor was Marshall Montano, who tied with him for first place in the Soca Monarch competition. Montano was severely outclassed this time around, with his float managing a mere 56 plays on the Carnival stage. Meanwhile, another Carnival legend, Brian McFarlane, can now leave the Carnival stage with joy. The 7-time Band of the Year winner made it an even 8 with his 2013 presentation titled Joy, the Finale. His band's presentation started with a drum opening from the Laventil Rhythm section, followed by a musical theatre piece before the masqueraders took the stage. The hundreds of masqueraders were all dressed in white cloth with brightly colored accents and flags. McFarlane's winning King and Queen of Carnival costumes also appeared with the band. The prolific masked man will now turn his attention to creating shows, which he says will be staged in Trinidad and Tobago and subsequently internationally. He's also expected to lead a contingent of Trinidad and Tobagonian masqueraders at the opening of the FIFA World Cup in Brazil next year. Gregory McBurney, News 4.
Staying with Carnival, the National Security Minister is crediting the citizens of Chaguanas for a safe Carnival in the Central Borough. Minister Jack Warner, who is also the MP for Chaguanas West, was speaking while enjoying celebrations in his constituency.
Their clothes covered in mud, powder, paint and oil, but their faces plastered with smiles. These are the masqueraders who kicked off Carnival celebrations in the borough of Chaguanas with Juve. Carnival in Chaguanas has been quickly growing and gaining national popularity over the past few years. 30 bands registered this year and thousands of persons trod through the streets of Chaguanas singing and dancing to their favorite soca songs. Even the politicians having a time and painting the town while enjoying the merriment and fun. Chaguanas Mayor Orlando Nagasar says it is the best carnival in the borough to date and says the police have done their part in ensuring this.
The amount of people I am seeing here, thousands and thousands of people have flocked the street. So I believe in the next half an hour or so, we'll see the bands parading on the street. We are hoping for an incident-free Juve morning, but I have never in my life seen so many people on the main road of Chaguanas at 4 o'clock. The streets are all crowded, packed. If you look, you can see in front of the stage, there's no movement. Everybody stands still. The people are not moving. We have an incident-free carnival. I saw a lot of police all around the place, and I'm certain they're going to maintain law and order on the streets of Chaguanas.
Meanwhile, National Security Minister Jack Warner says the people of Chaguanas also deserve some recognition for the safe celebrations.
It is the best ever Kiddies Carnival. We had over 16 Kiddies band. Some of them were very creative, very, very innovative. And we had thousands of people. Our Queen show was the best ever. Our Chutney and Soca, again, over 10,000 people. Fantastic show. Our Calypsos were even higher than national Calypsos. In fact, I have to raise the price next year based on the quality I saw. And this morning, Juve, again, plans to be the best ever. And what is happening in all of this, up to now, incident-free. Not a single incident so far. And this to me is a credit to the Chaguanas community and those who taken part in the festivity.
Minister Warner, who is also the MP for the area, says plans are being developed to increase the prize monies for carnival competitions in the borough.
In this carnival, everybody will be a winner. We're giving prizes for participants, for winners, for even those spectators who took part. Some of them will get prizes. So everybody will be a winner. $1 million in prizes. And next year, I'm saying to you, we shall increase that.
Gregory McBurney, News 4.
Up next, cricket action. Stay with us. The West Indies registered their first success on the Tour of Australia with victory in the one-off T20 match. The regional side once again showed its preference for the shortest form of the game by securing the first win over Australia in any format for 16 years. Wayne Cunningham has the details.
The West Indies showed why they are 2020 champions with a convincing 27-run victory over Australia in the only T20 of the tour. This was the only bright spot in what could only be described as a dismal outing down under, with the home team winning all 5 of the one-day internationals on the fixture. The win was set up firstly by a brisk 57 at the top of the order from Johnson Charles. He continued his fine form from the one-dayers, where he scored his maiden international century just 3 days ago. Most of the Windies batsmen got useful starts, with Darren Bravo, 32, and Kieron Pollard, 26, being the other scores of note, along with a quick-fire 23 from Andre Russell, as they finished on 191 for 6 in their 20 overs. James Faulkner was the best Australian bowler, taking 3 for 28. After losing Aaron Finch cheaply in the second over, the home team looked on course for victory as they chased a competitive score. Sean Marsh and Adam Vokes put on a 74-run stand for the second wicket, but both were undone via the run-out route, with Tino Bess and Devon Thomas combining to send Marsh back for 21 and Thomas taking care of Vokes for 51. Then the other catalyst in the West Indies victory took over. Kieron Pollard with a man-of-the-match bowling performance, which took care of the Aussies' middle order as he took 3 wickets for 30 runs from his 4 overs. Sunil Narine was economical as his 24 balls proved difficult for the Australians to get away, taking 2 for 19 as the home team was restricted to 164 for 8 in their 20 overs. The West Indies with a comfortable 27-run victory. the first in Australia in any format since the Perth Test in February 1997. Wayne Cunningham, News 4 Sports.
And there was also good news for the West Indies women as they defeated their Australian counterparts as well to storm into the final of the ICC Women World Cup. Once again, here's Wayne Cunningham.
The West Indies women needed a win to advance to the final of the ICC Women's World Cup when they faced Australia on Wednesday in Mumbai. And they got it in spectacular fashion. The result put the defending champions England and the last edition's runner-up New Zealand out of contention for a place in the final. The win is also the regional team's first against Australia, who had been unbeaten in this World Cup. The West Indies won the toss and decided to bat, but they were reeling at 3 for 36 by the 11th over and in further trouble by the 19th at 5 for 59, with Natasha McLean's 26 being the only score in double figures up to that point. Captain Marissa Aguilera and Deandra Dottin got the first partnership of note for the innings with a 27-run 6-wicket stand, but Aguilera fell for 7, quickly followed by Chanel Daly. But Dottin soldiered on and was joined by 17-year-old Shekinah Quinton for a 47-run stand to help the West Indies to 164 all out, with Dottin ending on 60 and Quinton 15. Although the Australians lost Meg Lanning in the second over for no score, they seemed on course to victory when their top scorer Alex Blackwell fell in the 39th over for 45. The score at that point was 130 for 5. But as they have done throughout the championship, the West Indies women showed grit, determination and a never-say-die attitude to send the last 6 Aussie batters back to the pavilion for just 26 runs added, as Australia were all out for 156 in 48.2 overs. The West Indies bowling, led by Chanel Daly with 3 for 22 and Stephanie Taylor 2 for 26, helped lift the team's game in the field, with some fine catching and accurate throwing aiding in the demise of Australia. The West Indies recording an emphatic 8-run victory which propelled them into Sunday's final against those very Australians who were sure they placed in the last 2 before this match. Deandra Dottin was adjudged player of the match and will once again be a key component for the regional team at the Barbourne Stadium in Mumbai on Sunday. Wayne Cunningham, News 4 Sports.
When we return, the Prime Minister lights up her constituency. Stay with us. Thank you for staying with us. Residents of Debe Pinal welcome the new lighting systems erected at the Boop Singh Recreational Ground. The park is often used for cultural and sporting events. Prime Minister Kamla Persad Bissessa was on hand for the official switching on and welcomed the addition to the facility located in her constituency.
Prime Minister Kamla Persad Bissessa brought some illumination to the popular Boop Singh Park located in her constituency. The park, known for the hosting of many cultural events in the Penal district, officially got new recreational lights as part of TNTEC's lighting project. In switching on the towering lamps that will serve to brighten the area, the Prime Minister says she recognized the park as an integral part of community life.
These lights will indeed be an asset, a plus and an advantage to the residents from our district here. We have used this park for numerous activities. In the past 20 plus years I've been Member of Parliament, whether it was Carnival, whether it was for Diwali, whether it was for whatever it may be. The park has been always well utilized by residents. And so with the addition of the children's items in it, I think we need some more, so you look at that, the play park items and these lights. We want, very good, you will help me find the rest of them, shan't you? Let me thank TNTEC again for their work. And as we say, let there be lights.
Over 8 1,000-watt bulbs were installed on the grounds. Public Utilities Minister Nizam Baksh says providing such facilities all assist in the improvement of lives for residents in the area.
The infrastructure which has been installed by the contractors, low voltage and high voltage, and JE Daughters consists of 8 1,000-watt bulbs which have been attached to the 2-centimeter poles placed on the park's perimeter. Unlike the upgrades which have taken place at the 153 recreation grounds and 27 courts and parks which have been completed to date, the lights of the boxing park will be manually controlled by the regional corporation.
Susila Ramkisoon Mark, chairman of TNTech, echoed similar sentiments as she urged families to use the facility to their benefit.
It is indeed an honor and privilege to be here to witness firsthand the joy on the faces of the children as they play. You see, with these lights, you will be afforded more time as a family to enjoy the outdoor facilities. While your children play, you, the adults, can take the opportunity to spend greater bonding time with them, as well as engage in your everyday recreational activities.
Kimberly Ramkalawan, News 4.
And that story brings us to the end of our News 4 report, a product of the Government Information Services Limited and the Ministry of Communications. I'm Nari Lumsden. Thank you for watching.